am I? This is level complete. Okay, I gotta remember how to play this game again. So we go to Atlas. Sunrise Spring Worlds. So we got 1891 out of 2800. And 24 out of 36. Is this all the worlds in the game? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 worlds in total? Or 5 hub areas. And then it's Sunrise Spring, where we're at right now. We're doing pretty good. We did Molten Crater. I don't think we could have finished it. I think that's just something that happened. I can't remember. Oh yeah, Sheila. I remember Sheila. Oh yeah, I remember. You need certain characters I needed a certain character to finish Molten Crater. Shields! And Seashore. So we need to do Seashore and Mushroom Speedway. And then the Buzz's dungeon is assumably the boss. Okay, I slightly remember what's happening. I slightly remember what's going on. Sup? Wow, I can't jump. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, I remember what's going on here. I remember this. Alright. It's been a while since I played Spyro at all, so like, let me just like, get a refresher. Do our little triple jump. Do our little trip. Oh, frick, I messed it up. Oh, we got time that better. Okay, so this was Molten Crater that we couldn't do, and I think over here was the level that we were gonna do next. Yeah, okay, I remember this now. We can still go underwater. I think we can still climb. We can still ground pound. Or head pound. Wait. Is that it? Seashell? Seashell. Yes. Yes. And if I remember correctly, all the dudes that I've been collecting so far are all over here holding on to this. And then the last guy was gonna be like, you need to do everything, blah, blah, blah. And I need to, okay, yeah. And I think that up there was the Speedway level. So let's do this first, because we all know the speed. I don't know what the Speedway levels are like in the third game. They might be sus. They might not be sus. I don't know. So we're going to figure it out. But I don't want to figure it out right away, because it might be a disaster. So.
While I was gone, my friend borrowed the Rhinox submarine. And then they took it for a joyride. And then they smashed it into a big pile of rocks. Oddly enough, the Rhinox failed to see the humor in the story and stuck my friend in the jail behind you.
Well, that sucks, bro. That's unfortunate. And there's gems back there, so that's going to be my reasoning for saving them, honestly. Alright. We all know this game likes to hide things in corners when I climb over ledges, so we always gotta check that. And right behind us. Another thing. Oh yeah, I forgot they had like the freaking ducks in the water. Is that a duck? Or a geese? Or a goose? Goose geese. They have like little freaking astronaut mask on. Oh frick, I forgot you can't. Okay, yeah, you can't shoot the fire in the water. It makes sense, but I don't know, my brain didn't think. Ooh, okay, you can break the shells. Good to know. I can't ground pound in the water, right? No? Okay, it's just gonna let me visualize, alright. Those are enemies, and so far it seems like I can just charge into everybody, and they die. So, we're gonna keep that in mind so far for this level. Ooh, I didn't see y'all. Good to see, good to see. Let's check. Can I go up? Yeah, I can, but looks like there's nothing up here. Okay, nothing up here. Okay. What is this supposed to be? Is this like the shape of something? Hold on, let me look. I don't know what that is, actually. Can I break this? Yes, I can. Cool. Alright. Life! You good? Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay, well. I always have this anxiety that I'm missing something, but it looks like I'm totally fine. So, let's go. Alright, so it looks like that was just one little area.
If you want a quick summary of your progress in a world, you can press the select button to open the atlas page for the world you are in.
Oh, frick. Okay, yeah, okay, I remember that now. I think Stella told us about that last time. Okay. Free the seals. That's our first quest. Which we learned about. And I know you can break these. So we're gonna keep breaking those. Ooh, I didn't see y'all there. If you want to check your product, you can break the... oh. This game constantly breaks the fourth wall. There is no fourth wall in these Spyro games. Oh, frick, I forgot I'm supposed to be getting the eggs. Jason! Aw. He was crying. Dang, I ran right into that, I won't lie. I definitely ran right into that. Yike. Alright. Wait a minute. Can I do anything with this? No, it looks like it's just aesthetic. Because I remember I saw that earlier, and I wanted to check it, and I forgot, so. What was that? Oh. I didn't even see y'all. Okay. I gotta tell y'all, that wasn't a good position for you. That wasn't good positioning. Oof. They were faced a different direction at first, okay? I gotta be careful, because I noticed in this game, I tend to walk right past certain gems. Which is actually kind of weird. Because, like, in the other games, if you kill an enemy, like, you will collect the gem, guaranteed. In this game, I noticed that sometimes the gem will fall down and I miss it. So you gotta be a little bit careful. I got scared, I won't lie. Okay, that time both of them had enemies. Good to know. Check for anything sus. There is an area above me, so I know I can get to that somehow. Not sure how just yet, but we'll figure it out. Oh, here we go. Wait. Can I...
You can hover to get more distance when gliding. Just press the triangle button at the end of your glide.
Wow, in the other games, they give you more... They have that, like, freaking, what's his name? Wait, no, I think he gave a tutorial in this, too. I think so. I think it was, like, earlier. So she's just repeating information at this point. Are you saying that I need that to get here? Oh, I think that is what you're referring to. Okay. I wonder how you get up to that. That's what I want to figure out. It doesn't look like this is the way to do it. At least climbing up. Ooh. I need you. There we go. I didn't see this guy. Rude. Got you. Got you. Okay. Oops. Yeah, see, trying to figure out, you definitely can't reach that from here, if I understand correctly. It's too high. Right? Yeah, I think it's too high. Can you scale walls in this one? That made it worse. That did not help. That made it much worse. Yeah, that's not helping. Okay. Alright. Unless I'm just doing that wrong. I don't understand how to do that right now. No, wait. Gold is the max. My bad. Couldn't remember what order. I think green is when I'm really low health. Green, blue, and then gold. Or yellow. Sheila! We get a Sheila level in here. Would those be a skill point? Yeah, I can't remember how you figure out like what a skill point might be. Or if you can look at them if you've worked on them. I don't think you can do that. I can't remember. I'll come back. I'll come back. Just in case. Yeah, there's some more even on the water here, so it makes me think it might be. So I don't want to go into like one of those other zones yet until I know for sure. Is that another one? Ooh, another one. Where'd you go? The frick? Oh. See, look. How did I miss that? I feel like that happens in this game more than any of the other ones. And that. Are these really just aesthetic? Interesting. Okay, well there's the main quest. Done.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. One of the Rhinox had this egg in his lunchbox.
Dizzy! Was that a gem? Bro, what? How do I keep missing these like individual gems? That's gonna give me a lot of anxiety because I'm gonna feel like I'm missing one all the time. Okay, so what I want to check is it open this. I think this is the way back around, so it loops back, right? Okay, it does. And a skill point didn't pop up, right? Yeah, I don't think so either. Now, I'm pretty sure I got all the shells, so I'm guessing it wasn't a skill point. Well, here's how we're gonna confirm. We're gonna go in and see if they come back or not. Well, actually, let me see. Under the docks, free the seals. Clear out the pipe. Oh, that was that thing we just saw. Wait. Can you check that from here? I can't remember. I don't see anything that says mentions the skill points. I know it popped up last time, but I don't know how you see it. Is it in here? No, no, no. I don't know. Actually, I don't remember. Maybe you can't see it. Oh well. Anyways, let's just go in here. Yeah, you can probably find it online. If not, I can do with them again. It's okay. So clear out the pipe. Let's see what this is about.
We had a dragon egg for you, but we used it to test our ultra-high-speed superfluidity tunnel. The good news is that it made it to the end of the tunnel without a scratch. The bad news is that there's no way to get it back out now. The tunnel is chock full of Rhinox and floating mines. The only way to retrieve that egg is to defeat every single Rhinox in the tunnel.
Okay. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, wow. It doesn't even say anything to you. You just fail. What? Come on, bro. This is so weird. Oh, my God. It's so weird. No. No! No! This is actually harder than it looks, I swear. Dorb. Dorb. God dang it. It just feels like it's hard to make it turn and know how far you need to turn to hit something. Ah, dang it. So COD vehicles, jeez. God dang it. How does the stream look and sound? Because I have been turning some things down just to make sure I get better performance, like frame-wise. God. How, does it say, wait, is there like a thing that says how many there are in here? This is paid, bro. I'm gonna master this. But it's hard, okay? Come on, I was Oh, okay, okay. All right, let me know if that's better or worse. Well, that's on my end. It shouldn't do that. Yeah, but it shouldn't pick that stuff up anyway. It doesn't matter if she does it. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't pick it up. So that means I got it. Bro, stop making it a problem. I just need to fix the mic so it'll be better. God dang it! It's... I swear, bro. If you don't start from the right side, it just doesn't work. You cannot move. You cannot recover, I swear. Then he laughs at me. Is it better now? I'm talking about like I turned it down, so like is it not picking up it? I want to test if it picks up less background noise like that. Oh yeah. Oh, this is hard. There's no difficulties for this, right? It doesn't show like a difficulty bar and in this one. I think that was just the second one, right? What? It looked like I hit him.
I'm grateful.
Yo, thank you so much for the raid. I'm so sorry right now. This is so hard. Oh my god. Appreciate it though. Ah, freak! Yo, what's up, Salah? How you doing? Appreciate ya. Appreciate everyone from the raid. I hope you had a great stream. I am doing my casual Sunday Sly playthrough right now. And why do I keep saying Sly? I meant Spyro. Spyro is better than Sly. I'm just saying. Yo, I appreciate it though. Appreciate it. I hope you had a great stream. What were you streaming? Were you streaming some Spyro? But yeah, like this game is a lot of fun. This is like one of the hardest though mini games here, and I forced myself to 100% all the games so far. So I'm probably gonna try to do the same thing here. Why is this so hard? Oh my god, it feels so weird. But yeah, every Sunday I've been playing through the Spyro series. I'm probably gonna also go through the, like, what do they call it? Remastered or like remade ones as well. I'm probably gonna do those too. And yeah, but it's, oh, Reignited. Yeah, I'm probably gonna play through all of them. Basically, my goal was to play through a bunch of PlayStation Classic games, and I played through Jack, I played through Sly, I played through Ratchet and Clank. So like this is the last one that I'm mainly doing. Oh, it did Crash as well. So this is the last one on my list to play through. And yeah, I'm loving this trilogy. This is definitely have been one of my favorites of all of them so far. I've actually been here before when you play Clifftown and Spyro 1. Yo! Happy to have you back. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you. But yeah, I definitely want to hit the Reignited as well. My bad if I'm here for the next 12 years though, because I have to beat it. I have to do it. This is harder than some of the things I did in the second one. What the frick? Oh my god. Ah! Oh my god, it did! Woo!
Surprisingly good fluid dynamic characteristics. From now on.
Yeah, I love these games. They're so great. These games are my, this is probably like one of my favorite series. I would say my top series, oh, Duke. My top series are Jack, Ratchet and Clank, Crash, and this. Basically everything except Sly. That's sad. Dang, I just realized I just roasted Sly right there. My bad. I didn't mean it like that, Sly. I don't know. I'm just not really that into the stealth 3D platformer type thing. I just prefer I prefer the platforming type stuff. It's just more fun. For me. I don't want to be stealth. I want to just go around and master the movement mechanics and all that type of stuff. Okay, so let me see. I don't see any more of those shells or clams, so I'm assuming that I don't need to do that. I'm assuming that that wasn't a skill point. I'm trying to figure out how you get over to this ledge. Can you reach it from there? There's no way, right? No, no, no. It's too high. Oh, man. How do I get up here? Because, like, I tried to do it from here. But, yeah, appreciate. Maybe you come... Oh, maybe? Maybe you come down from there somewhere? Or see. I need to go do Sheila's part anyway, so let's go do that. But, oh no! I didn't want you to do a ground pound, bro. But yeah, I've been enjoying all of the Spyro games highly. Top series for me. So like, I don't think I mind redoing the Reignited because I know that they're really similar.
Some of my seal friends are trying to take down a Rhinoc fortress. I'm about to go and lend a foot. I love the smell of singed
I
rhinoc.
appreciate you. Thank you so much for the raid, and you have a great night. Okay, so do I remember how to? Oh Lord! Oh wait, no, she can swim. Okay, thank God. I thought I failed already. I think. What did she have to do? How did I do a big jump with her again? I think it was like. I can't remember. God dang it. There's something. There's a menu where you could learn how to do like Oh, I think I just had to climb up this one and just not fail the jump. But how do I not fail that jump? Rude! Who's hitting me? Oh my God, I'm almost dead. Oh wait, she has a double jump. I forgot about that. That's my fault. I can't stop it? Meow. Hold up, hold up. Because with her, you gotta look all the way around. Okay, I see. There we go. That's how you do it. Jared! Yo, what's up, Cooler? How you doing? Alright. I don't know. Oh, yeah, you do. Forgot about that. Nice. Hope the grind hasn't been too painful.
Just on our beach, and we're gonna blow it to smithereens. We just need you to take out all the turrets for us. We're lighting the bomb now. Just make sure to stop all those turrets before the fuse runs out, okay?
Wait, hold up, hold up. How do I do that? Wait, how do I do that? Wait, what? Is this a puzzle? Wait, what is happening? What is happening? Oh no, dude. Oh, I see. I see. I see. Yeah, I failed miserably and I died. So we're just gonna redo that again. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Now all I have left is 25 headshots per gun. Yes, I'll try again. Yippee! Get out of here! Ah! Yeah. The sound they make. You miss, bro. Get good, son. Wait a minute. What the hell? How do you do this fast enough?
Ow! That really smarts! No problem, though. We've got more bombs.
Wait, wait a dick. Wait a dick. Maybe there's a faster strat here. Hold up, we're doing it too slow. If you slap my eye sack one more time. I did not mean to jump all the way like that. Did I just destroy that didn't need to get destroyed? No! I had my eye! Wait, no, I probably had way more. Dude, what?
Ow, that really smart.
One was so severely broken that free recovery would work. I have lost photos of my last time I crashed. Honestly, I had memory data loss recently too. And I had to use like some program to restore it. And it actually did a pretty decent job restoring most of it. Oh, I died. Oh, I died. Rip. I forgot. They don't refill your health with this. They just left me with like one hit. Oh, I get it. That spawns them. Okay, I see. Dude, why can't I hit them in time? Holy frick. God dang it. Okay, we gotta do that better. We gotta do it. We got this!
Ready to try stomping the turrets again?
Wait, how am I supposed to do this? What am I doing? Dude, if I get hit by them more, I don't even know. I didn't mean to jump up like that. I jumped up wrong. Is this not the right way? How should I do it? What?
Yippee! I'll light the fuse on the...
Oh, I'm stupid. Okay. No, I only had one eye sack. Okay. I think you're right. I think you're right. My bad. My brain was not thinking of the fact that like that it was destroying. Oops, I messed that up. I messed this all up. This is all bad. This is all bad. Yeah. Oh no, I hit. I thought that was a turret. My bad. Yeah, that wastes too much time. Yeah, but see, this is the problem here. Oh, I was so close. Okay, we got this. We got this. I wasted some time there. We got this. Yeah, the thing is, when you hit triangle, right when she hits the ground, it high jumps. So I keep like accidentally high jumping. Yeah, this is hard. Yeah, I'm close. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. World record run! Because that time I was actually just jumping over the enemies, so I wasn't killing them first. I was just literally ground pounding the enemies too. I think that saves time too. I didn't know you could do that.
I can't believe I survived that blast. It's a good thing I kept this egg nice and safe in my pocket.
Okay, yeah, I'd love to hear the speedy way. I don't know what I'm doing. I also found 5th grade pics and happy that I had a pic of me and this girl I would have committed badminton matches in 6th grade. Oh, that's cool though. It's nice to have memories like that. I don't have any pictures of any humans I used to know. So that's like, that's good. I really didn't have that. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I had that. I knew that person, but I have no pictures of that person. So, rip. So you aim for the shooting part of the turret that's sticking out and you can hit it with, oh, okay. So that's the speed strat. Okay. I got, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. I actually didn't even think of that. Uh-oh, her name's Molly. I'm just kidding. Like, I took a lot of pictures, but I didn't take pictures of people much growing up. Yeah, like, I don't have pictures of, like, me and, like, people I used to know. Like, I didn't take, like, selfies and, like, group pictures with people. Like, I didn't really... Yeah. Basically. Alright, so how are we doing in this world? Oh, this is still within Seashell. What am I talking about? Defeat the shark sub. So is this all of her area? How do I know if I got everything in her area? That's the hard part about this. Oh my gosh, how does that happen? How do I just like miss random crap? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Is that a thing in this game? Can you like use what's her name? Sparks to tell where you are, like where things are? I don't think that's a thing in this game. What did you mean? I don't know. Lord! Why do I keep forgetting she has this double jump? Bruh, stop. I think that's everything. Like in this world, with her, you gotta look up. So I know that this was a thing. But we got this and everything. We didn't miss any gems there. I don't see anything else that could be hidden high up above. Anywhere. So I think we're good. You can't do that. Yeah, I think that's it. I just noticed iPhone having the ability to scroll images by date, so it's going to be cool to have pre-iPhone pics on an iPhone in the correct order. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. I think you can do that with Google Images. I actually really like that about Google Images, because they're sometimes give you like flashbacks of like older times. So like I can like look at it and be like, oh yeah, back in the day. Back in my day. Okay, seriously though, how do I get that area? I need to figure this out. I am stumped on that. Did I miss anything in here? Wait a minute, what the hell? Where does this go to? Bro, how did I not go here? What am I doing? Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. I thought that area was enclosed. Ooh.
Pluto the Rhinoc has challenged us to a naval battle. Our speedboat versus his nuclear shark submarine. If we win, we get the dragon egg he's guarding. If we lose, we have to spend a month in KP. What do you say? Do you want to take on Pluto?
Sure.
Okay, good luck. Just remember, stay away from the sharp end.
No worries, Stella. Appreciate you. You sleep well as well. Okay, so X to speed up, circle to fire a missile, and then we can get more missiles. Oh, I can control it. I was like, wait, what? So I'm gonna get to explore this whole area, right? Dang it. We need to get more missiles. Oh, frick! I didn't see you. Get slapped, kid!
Wow, that's the first time Pluto has ever lost. You got a lot of talent for someone so purple. I hope this egg was worth all the trouble.
Did that work? I honestly think, I don't know if that's still gonna work. So sorry in the meantime if it doesn't, but if you heard it, that's fine. Yeah, hold on. I'm not currently, Oh, I only get standard text-to-speech, unfortunately, for now. Because I didn't pay the new thing. Hopefully when I get some more moolah, I can. But I had to cancel that to save some money for a bit, but I'll get it back eventually. Practice was able to use it yesterday though, so that was probably the last day they would give it to me for free. But it was it sounds pretty zombie-ish. Okay, we definitely got to explore this whole area, because I know all the rest of the gems are here, right? So... this level is pretty big, honestly. The other ones weren't this big. Alright, here we go. Ooh, and we got stuff on the side. Dang, man, this place is huge with stuff. Okay, so more over here. This has to be it, right? Oh, really? There you go. Anything behind there? No, we're good. Wait, that's not it? Oh, because I don't know how to get up to that area. I forgot about that. Oh, that's the last bit. Oh no, how do I do that? Is there anything over here that I can use to get there? That's what I gotta figure out right now. This is where I came from. What about this? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, I do not know how to get to that other area. I gotta figure that out, bro. I can't leave this area until I know. Unless there's, no, it can't be. Because... oops, I did not mean to do that. My bad. This went right back where I came from. Whoops! Okay, there's gotta be something I'm missing. Does this lead anywhere else? No, looks like it's just a circle. There's gotta be a way to reach that, right? What's that star? I have no health. What the frick? Oh, it's where, okay, yeah, sorry, that's where, whatchamacallit's at. Okay, so let's check this way. Because there's gotta be a way to get up here. Wait. This just leads to nothing? No. What the hell is that sound? Do these really mean nothing? I feel like this is so weird. And that it has to mean something, right? It really doesn't. Is that really just an aesthetic? This is just aesthetic as well. the frick? This is back to the beginning. Right? Yeah. I don't know how to get that stuff. But there's gotta be something I'm missing. Why does that make a weird sound like that when I'm on it? Is that just supposed to be the sound effect of me walking? On the wood? That's so weird. Huh. I thought it was like eggs. Sound like eggs popping out. Okay, clearly you can't do anything with that. I don't know how to get these. There's gotta be a way, bro. There's gotta be something I'm not understanding. Yeah, look, there's a hole over there. There's an opening. Where is that opening? Ah. Wait, what? Oh yeah, it's from this. Yeah, but how do I get up? Okay, so it really is just this. But how do I traverse just this? Cause like I don't think is there a skill that lets me jump up higher? I mean, she tells me about a high jump. It seems like I can get close to it, but like I can't seem to. Oh, there we go. What the hell? I had to use it to, I had to use the wall. Is that how I'm supposed to do that? Yeah, that seems to just be the sound of walking on the wood. That's so weird. I don't know if that's how I was supposed to do that or not. I gotta be honest. I don't know. Oh, well, we 100% it. That's all that matters. No complaints. What opening? That was the opening.
Let's head on over to the balloon. The balloon's all ready, sir. Just jump on.
Not yet. Okay, good. I thought I was gonna make me do it. I still gotta do the speedway. Right? Oh, and I gotta go back to the molten crater. I thought that someone said that I can finish it once I unlock the next character. Was it? It might be. Hold on, let me just check. Where was that at? Here it is. I thought it was in this area. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong, but we're check. Hey, cock.
Rhinox are running rampant.
Oh, you're a bad guy. Why did I think you were friendly? Ah, frick, dude, stop. I keep not thinking you can go that far. I'm gonna need y'all to stop hurting me. This is not fire. This is not flare. Yeah. Bro. Y'all gotta stop hurting me up in the booty eye. Okay, I gotta figure out where this is. I remember it's like some area where you can do... Ah! Okay, we did it in time. We reacted. Was it over here? Yeah. I guess you're right. Okay. Bye. Okay, you're right. I have to leave first, but we gotta do speedway at least. We can do the speedway at least, right?
Let's head on over to the balloon.
The balloon's all ready.
Let's head on over to the balloon. All right, let's see what the first speedway level is like in this one. I'm scared. To be honest, I am kind of scared. I won't lie. We'll see though. Oh, okay. What? It's not the fastest way, but it is the easiest. Whoa, you can get gems now? Hold up. What was the order they even told me? I don't even remember what the order was. Okay, so this is the regular speedway. So basically they're making it so you don't have to go and try and find the challenge anymore? Is that what they're doing? First try, first try. Hey, they say it's not the fastest way. Now I wonder what is the fastest way. I got a beetle before though. Sabina! That ain't no. Race with butterflies. Okay. So now they're making it, you just select it and you do it. Okay. What's the star for? What's that mean? Does that speed you up? Yes, it does. Do you have to get like all the freaking stars to win? It doesn't boost you that much, to be fair. How many freaking butterflies are there? Jesus Christ. Oh, I didn't see that one. Oh, I'm so lucky that I made that. I don't know if I can do this time. Dang. We got this. We got this. Okay. Not sure if that's all the stars, but that's all I see. So I'm just gonna keep using the same ones that I see. Dude, am I doing something wrong? Am I not passing more than faster? There we go. I think that's it. Okay, okay. Like, how do you do that any faster? Like, I feel like you'd have to do, like, certain pathing. The first prize. Is that all or what? She said first prize. The frick? Alright, hold on. I'm gonna have to check if that was it, all of it or not. Let's see. Wait, there's another egg. So is there a second challenge to that? Okay, okay. Let's try that second one again. This game's mean! It doesn't even tell you. So this isn't just the same thing? Oh, frick, I forgot to go through that one. Is this supposed to be harder? Bro, what? I'm so lost. Yeah, but I don't know if I beat it once. I don't know if I'm supposed to beat it again. It said first prize. I'm still missing something. This is the first speedway. I don't remember the name. Yo, what's up, Hangman? How you doing? I don't think it's possible for me to get ahead this time. Too many. Close though. I don't remember the name of it. It's just the first speedway. I beat the time thing first try, and then... What? I didn't know that. Dude, that's so hardcore cheating. I mean, I guess they're cheating too, because they're like way ahead, so... In the beginning. But like, how do I get my second... It said I won the first prize the first time I beat them. Yeah, I beat the race already. So what am I missing in this world? I don't get it. Oh, don't bother, there's nothing else? What secret challenge? So there still is a secret level, the secret area in the regular flying thing. Okay, I didn't know that because it was making it seem like it was different. Oh, okay, okay. I wasn't sure if it still worked that way or not. Okay, I got you. It confused me because she said first try. I mean, you got the first prize. I mean. Alright. Appreciate you hanging out, Cooler. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the image fixing. Okay, so I gotta find what's his name in here now. Okay, got you. Alright, let's do that. Oh my god, I thought of it. Oh my god, I definitely thought of it as like, okay, here's your first prize. Now get your second. I definitely misread that. Oh my god. I thought I was supposed to do multiple challenges, bro. I didn't know the butterflies were right there, so that makes me think that definitely, if you do the butterflies first, that might be the fastest. Definitely. I didn't even realize that how small this map was. Is he here? Yeah, but I looked at the giant mushroom. Wow, why did my speed just get canceled? Denied. Alright. Okay, okay. Oh, I was just trying to speed strat it, bro. Yes, you do, you bro. Oh, it's probably this one, right? Oh? Yes, it is.
Whoa, a bunch of
Whoa, dude!
came out of nowhere and started blasting up the race course. Looks like I'll have to
Yeah, that sucks.
teach him some manners. Look out, shit.
Radical, dude! Whoa! Circle a button to fire and exit square for turbo! Oh, I'm actually playing him. What the hell? No one saw that.
Sheep and flying saucers came out of nowhere.
I accomplished nothing. I was like, ooh, sparkly stuff. I should hit that. No, that's how you die. Okay, good to know. Bro, why are you so fast? Ah. There you go. I'll just ride around in this. This is fun. Woo! Yeah, baby! No, I can't do a barrel roll. Dang it. I was gonna be like, do a barrel! It doesn't give you that much freedom. Dang, I missed. No one saw that, though. So it don't matter. Dude, what patterns are y'all on? Y'all on some sus-ish. Okay, I'm gonna come back. Wait for you to come back around. There we go. Get nutsacked. Wow, I completely just utterly missed. Okay. How do you aim this garbage? Somehow something happened. Aiming is not my strength with this. Okay, good to know. I hit him? Oh god, I hit his booty eye cheek. Oh, there's the last doucher. You ain't getting away from me, dick. Where am I? Oh, Lord. What on earth are you doing? There you go.
Woohoo! Check it out. The squad leader had
I was gonna be like, whoa, dude. Tatter. What kind of name is that? Tater? Tater tatter? Tater tots? I'd like to leave. Thank you, Sparks. Thank you. I want to go on that hot air balloon now. His name is Tater. Tater tots. All right, so how we doing? How we doing? Wait, wrong thing. No, I think this is right. Never mind, front. So we can't do that yet until we go to the dicks. I think we looking spicy up in the booty eye. That's what I think. Okay, good, good, good. We're looking good. Now we gotta do Buzz's Dungeon. Buzz Lightyear's Dungeon. We got this. Ow! Whee! I don't know what I'm looking at, but okay.
Listen carefully, you stupid girl. I'm only going to ask you one more time. Why haven't you disposed of that infernal dragon?
I've tried to scare him off, Your Highness. But he's just not afraid of anything.
Not afraid? Not afraid? Why have I been training you all these years?
Dang, what happened to Reptar? I'm just kidding.
Magic!
Yeah, that's so mean.
Here's a spell book. Whip up a monster and eliminate him.
Kill him?
I don't care what you do, you useless brat, as long
Jesus
as you
Christ.
eliminate him.
This abuse. Spyro was teaching us about abuse early on. Oh, that's the dude. That's the dude we need. Oh my god, I was about to say, that looks cute. Never mind. It was looking cute before, and now it's looking like, it's looking a little sus.
When I heard the sorceress was planning to ambush you, I got here as fast as I could. No worries, though. This wussy green toad will be no match for the two of us.
Sure. I believe you because your name's Sheila. Ah, Lord! He pushed me like 5 feet. Lord! What am I supposed to be doing? I'm not getting hurt and nothing's... Ah! No one saw that. I'm not getting hurt and nothing's happening. Like, what is this? Oh, wait a minute. Do I gotta keep hitting him until he, like, goes into the lava like I did by accident? Oh. No, we didn't see that. Okay, we're just gonna restart. We're just gonna restart. It's fine. What happened? Okay. Oh, yeah. I think I'm doing this right. What? Pussy. Oh no, I didn't know he was gonna do that. Uh-oh. Suck it, nerd! Honestly, he's kind of weird. Bro, how did he not kill me there? I only have one more life. One more time. Yo, what's up? Woo, baby! That was kind of first try. We're not gonna count the first try, first try, because that didn't count. You know what I'm saying? Where am I? What? Okay, I guess we're just leaving. No? What you mean, no? Stop. I'm just kidding. Wait. It was the second first try. Come on, bro. Suck it, nerd is the only valid insult.
To survive longer than I expected. But you haven't the slightest idea what sort of dangers lie ahead of you. I suggest you grab your cat friend.
Oh, why not?
Eggs you found and hightail it back home while you still can. I'm telling you this for your own good, you know.
You know what? You need Bionica, not Bionica. Bionicle. Bianca. You need to get away because that lady's abusive. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to help you. I'm just saying. Bionicle. Oh, God. All right, so we're in a new area, and we gotta save that thing in the bird cage so that we can go back to the first world and level up, baby. And let me upgrade ya. He may be a penguin, but he's in a bird cage, alright? They said he in a bird cage. I did not mean to do that. I'm sorry. I heard na 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 and I have to go after it. Like, that's the only thing I'm good for in life. Is going after na 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 na. Just kidding. I hear na 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 and I have to go. Trixie! Na 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 na. Time for me to get you. Oh wait, I can't break it like that. I was gonna try to do the ground pound, but you can't even do that. Ground pound me! Isn't your dream to have Spyro ground pound you like this? I have to go all the way into the city. Oh, frick. Sorry about that. That sounds suckish. I don't like going to city. I don't know. I don't like cities that much. But, I mean, I could live in it, but, like, it's just not my cup of sway balls, you know?
Zoe told me that if we hit that doodad up there, the portal will open. Why don't you try spitting this rock at it?
What's a doodad, bro? I don't know what that is. I have the best idea how to make one of my animation scripts work. Oh, awesome. See, sometimes it just comes to you in special ways. Ow, we didn't make it. Rip. I'm not of the persuasion of wanting to be ground pounded. I don't know, bro. I think you're underestimating the power of the ground pound. I think most people want to be ground pounded. Like this on a Sunday night? I mean, that's kind of OP. Oh. I have to buy him?
Ah, my good friend Spyro.
This guy's such a douche. He's really gonna make me buy him?
T-Bird letting off rockets in her fireworks factory. But I'm willing to release him into your custody, provided you pay his outstanding fines.
This guy.
What a sucker. That is, it's a far, far better
Wow.
than you have ever
This guy's such a douche.
well, so forth, etc. You get the idea.
Bird. Bird. I'm James Bird. Bird. You trying to tell me a penguin's flying? Okay.
I think you'll have to find your commanding officer for that. Hey, what are those things?
These are the latest military hardware. DBX-9 rocket launchers, state-of-the-art.
So why didn't you use them to escape?
Because I have limited ammo, and I wanted to conserve it. For this.
Ooh.
Say, where'd you come from?
Valid. Very valid.
Years or something.
Well, the rumors of our extinction were slightly exaggerated. We just wanted a little peace and quiet.
Well, if it's peace and quiet you want, you should stay clear of my homeworld for a bit. I reckon I'll be blowing up Rhinox for weeks. Cheerio!
Cheerio, bye-bye. So the animation originally was an idea about this girl who creates a glider filled with hydrogen, so it has a net zero weight when she's on it, so she can move through the air with no resistance. But I felt like it'd be too complicated, that story, because I was thinking of people wanting to get at the hydrogen for other purposes. Why is that complicated? I mean, I guess Only you would know what's complicated for you, though, because you're the one who's going to be doing all the animation. So I guess that's up for you to decide. But yeah, whatever you feel is within your limits. But it sounds interesting. This area is pretty fun to explore, but I will say, though, this area looks a lot similar to the first area. I know the second game kind of did that, but, like, I don't like that. I liked how the first game, every area felt very unique, you know? I feel like in the second game and the third game, the areas feel very samey. And, that takes away from the fun, in my opinion. It's not as fun to go to a new area. It's just like opening up a door in the same area and just going there. Where it's the next area, but it's basically the same visuals and stuff like that. It's nothing really new to look at or experience or explore or eat for chicken. You know what I mean? It'd be complicated in terms of explosions and just dialogue. So instead I made it so that she still makes a glider, but she figured out how... Oh my god, I just had the thought of my life. Okay, so here's what had happened, alright? Here's what was going on, and I just realized it. I cut out from laughing probably because I have the noise gate with a release of like 500 milliseconds, so maybe I should go up to like 600. Maybe that will make me cut out less. Let's go like 650. Let's try that. Sorry, that was a random thought. My brain doesn't work right. So let me know if that changes that. Anyway, sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me. So instead it made it so that she still makes a glide, but she figured out how to make it fly by flapping like a bat. But for some reason, it won't get off the ground, and the main character is meant to help her solve this problem, but she realizes she calculated the weight of the glider itself wrong. But she doesn't see it, and that's the conflict of the story. I mean, sure. Like I said, it has to be whatever you feel is easier for you to animate and create, because you're the one who's going to be doing the work. I think, regardless, it's going to turn out chill.
It's a super flame power-up. You'll find more just like it scattered throughout all the...
Yo! I know how they... Oh. She said to destroy all those.
You have my gratitude.
But you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to go over here and destroy that. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Dang it, I went the wrong way. I went the wrong freaking way. God dang it. Yo, thank you so much, Billy Bob, for 14 months. I appreciate you. I hope that you're doing swell, and hopefully you don't go the wrong way in life like I just did. Don't do that. Very bad. But yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. How are you doing? Where was it? Was it over here? Here it is. Here it is. This is how we open this. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, now we can destroy the other stuff. Alright. I was gonna say, was there any over here? And the answer is yes. Climber. Yo, appreciate the gifted sub as well. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that so much. Oh, it actually had an egg. Matt! It's the most basic name ever, but I appreciate you, Matt. I'm glad we could save you. Was that wasn't all of them, right? That wasn't all of them. I'll come back for that. Hold on, let me look and see. Or was it all of them because it gave me an egg? I didn't think that that was all of them. It might have been. Glad that you're not doing bad. Appreciate you. And good to hear. So she tries to solve the problem in the wrong way, assuming she just doesn't have enough air resistance under the wings, so decides to jump off a building to get it, and the main character has to stop her from doing that. This way I don't need to fiddle with animating explosions. Ah, okay. Hey, I mean, that's fine. Sounds good to me. Scooby. Scooby-Doo. All right, let me more thoroughly look over here. We got this, and then we got a climbing. We got some gems over here. I don't know what that means. And, let's climb up here. Modesty! What a name. What a name. Alright, so let's go over to the tiger and see what he's all about right now. Tucker, or whatever his name is. Hunter? Chicken? Something like that.
When you see a
Oh, Hunter. There we go.
walls that look climbable, just jump onto it and you'll grab it with your claws.
Oh, I did not do the Sparks level because I didn't know how you triggered it. I forgot about that. Can I trigger it now? Hold up though. There was a bunch of stuff back here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go back. I didn't realize that. Because I tried to go to it early and it wouldn't let me. Dave! He literally did the same hand expression. He was like, hey! Sorry. I did not mean to slap my mic's balls. I have to be making a lot of progress here for the. I got so much stuff just now, right? No, we haven't made any progress at all. Okay, good to know. All right, okay, let's go back. I want to go back to Sunrise Spring. This game big. This game big. This game big as hell. All right, we going. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Spyro, I found an egg, but only Sparks will be able to reach it. There's a small hole that leads to a crawdad farm. I can take
Game
it.
thick as hell.
Hello, Sparks. Maybe before you take on the nasty crawdads, I should give you some help. To start, let's practice shooting. Press the circle button to shoot these targets.
What? You mean the crawdads? Why is this hard? Please shoot it. There we go. Top down, huh?
You can also
Oh, pff, I thought that was an enemy.
Spyro. To charge, hold down the square button.
Oh, okay.
You can also slide in any direction. To slide, hold down the L1 or R1 button.
How?
Then move with the analog stick or directional button. Try sliding up and down to hit the targets in this room.
Why is this hard?
Are you paying attention, Sparks? I told you to use slide to target those crawdads. If you don't learn how to use all your skills, you'll never survive the—
Dude, what the hell? Why is she roasting me? Why is she roasting me?
Then move with the analog stick or directional button.
Why is this hard? Instantly fails. I told you to slide, idiot. Why aren't you listening? Freaking loser. I swear to God, I hit L1. What is she talking about?
Are you paying attention, Sparks?
What are you talking about? I'm literally using it. Oh. Are you serious? I thought she wanted me to run into them. Okay, she didn't say strafe and shoot, all right? She was trolling, all right?
On your travels, you'll notice butterflies that give you health, just like in the dragon worlds. Not only that, but some butterflies will give you special powers, though only for a short time. Just eat any power-up butterfly, and then press the X button to use that power. Your power-up is shown in the top right of the screen.
I didn't listen to anything you said, so I guess they're gonna yell at me again, but it's fine. We all know I don't listen. Come on now.
You'll be able to deal with these guys much faster if you use—
Shut up, Zoe! I hate you now. Nope, shut the frick up. Nope. Homie, bro, please stop. Please stop. Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. No, I hit the wrong button. I dashed into them. I swear to God, Zoe, you say one more word to me, I'm gonna eat you. Get this hoe out of here. Why don't you listen to me? Why don't you listen to me, idiot? That's basically what she said. She was like, you're so stupid.
Need any more help? Just choose the help option from the pause menu.
Stop insulting me. I hate you. Look, it's so weird. I have a hard time. Oh my God, I hit the wrong button every time. It's not, it's circle. It's circle. It's circle. Okay, there we go. We got this. I'm playing Galaga, folks. This is Galaga. That's the problem I keep having. I keep dashing into them because squares dash. So like every single time you see me just like run into them, that's why. Oh, that's not, I need that. This is happening. I wasn't even using that ability. This is happening for a reason, all right? This is kind of cool, though, aside from the fact that, you know, I was roasted by Ho, but her name's Ho from now on. Ah! Oh, Lord, that's really cool. Yeah, look at me. Oh, Lord. Oh, I don't have that ability anymore. I was like, what are you doing? Oh my God, shoot the ball. It is so hard to aim, I won't lie. Okay, frick it. We're just gonna go over here. And, like, is there any, like... Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, is there something I'm missing? Mommy! Mother of God! Oh. I didn't realize I had a key. My bad. I wasn't paying attention. Where's the door at? Where's the door at? Oh, Lord. I just ran into that. God, if I hit square one more time trying to shoot. Jeez, it's so hard. Why am I hitting the wrong button? Dude, how do I turn? Sometimes I don't know how to turn. Turn, dick! Turn! Okay, I gotta get used to getting my angle. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the chat. I won't lie. Alright, No! Because I'm bad. No one saw that. Don't worry about it. Why does it stay black for like 5 years? Can you not destroy that? I really don't think you can destroy that. It's like I have to like go stationary to be able to turn more, and it's really weird. Okay, where's the green door? I think it's this way, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Can I not kill you? Oh, wait. Maybe I have to bash into you. Never mind. Wait, what? What am I supposed to do with it? I don't know. Where? Oh, my bad, my bad. This pretend it didn't happen. It's this way. I remember that. I remember now. Ooh, what's that? There we go. No! I turned the wrong way. Press the button on the floor? Oh. Oops. How? Oh. Okay, so when I'm like this... No! I didn't mean to run into them. Frick! Oh. Are you on emulator? No, not an emulator. I'm just like really bad at these controls for this. I don't know why. What the hell? The door glitched. Oh God. Dang it. Oh, I can actually shoot those. That's cool. I like that. Cool. Wait, no. Oh, okay. Wait. I can still get the gems though, right? Okay. It's gonna take my brain some getting used to. I keep going like the wrong directions and crap. Because like when you're sliding, you can kind of turn, but like it's harder to. So you have to turn while you're not holding a slide. And then it's hard to get yourself on an angle sometimes. I missed all the ones from the crates? Okay. How do I kill these? I don't get it. I thought they were like, you could charge into some things, but... Are they just supposed to get knocked away? Ah, okay. Yeah, I didn't want to turn there, but I turned for some reason. Like, I went and I started shooting at an angle. That was not my intent. Circle. Oh, I need to hit X to use that. There we go. Yeah. X to use the power-ups. Level complete. Okay. So it'll tell you when you collect everything. Good. Oh, you can destroy them with the power-up, looks like. Cool. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that. I keep thinking I'm gonna lose all my progress if I do that. I am bad at that. I gotta get better at that one. Yeah.
Nice work, Sparks. You've beaten the Crawdad King and found the lost egg. Not only that, but some of the dragon magic seems to have rubbed off on you. Now you can pick up gems when they're even further away from Spyro.
Oh, that's why it's like that in this game. Okay. Okay, that explains why I was having that problem. Where it felt like the gems just don't attract to me. Alright, I'm gonna probably stop early today so I can get my chores done, and I'm gonna play some more COD later. I don't know if I'm gonna stream it, but I'm probably gonna play more, but... I'm thinking I want to at least try to do the penguin level, because I want to get the penguin, so the next time I can come back and do the penguin levels. So we'll see. Cause I think I have to do this first to then to then get him for the other levels, right? I think that's how it works. Yeah, that's how it worked with Sheila. Sheila! I do not play Valorant or Fork Knife, unfortunately. I only prefer COD. I just like the way COD feels.
If we're going to take on the sorceress.
Alright. You should play COD, bruh. I need some more COD homies.
The situation is this.
Nice COD!
1845 hours, the Rhinox invaded. We defended as best we could, sir, but without your leadership, we didn't put up an effective resistance. By 1900 hours, the rest of the squad was captured and the
Dude, everyone has an accent. Okay, I'm really curious to see what his controls are like. Oh, Lord, they have range because I have range, huh? Wait, aim? Ow! How could you hurt me? You're so mean. Yeah, the accents are very interesting, I will say. I will say that. Aw, you can free the little birdies. Look how cute this walk is.
Thank you, sir.
Private Claire. Free for the hummingbird soldiers. Oh yeah, that was what they literally told me to do. I don't know why I didn't register that as a hummingbird. Oh, frick. What? I couldn't even tell that was glass. It's like, what? Why can't I walk? It's all glass. Okay. Oh, I can. Oh, he can fly because hacks, I guess. Because as far as I know, penguins don't fly. But all right. Who are you? Oh. What? What happened? Did he talk to me? Oh. Wait, what is happening?
One carefully placed rocket blast should take this door down, sir.
I'm gonna take this door down. They fly through the water. Dang, get slapped, nerd. Ha! Missed me! What a loser! What? They're really gonna say he's not strong enough for that? Okay, that's cheating. Come on, bro. Just hold on, wait. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything over here. Okay, we look good. Wait a minute. What's that about? Is that like a secret? Oh, Lord, I didn't mean to fall. Was I supposed to do that? I feel bad. Waddle, waddle.
Sir, I've captured the enemy Russians. They won't march far on an empty...
I thought that said something else. Okay, I thought that... I thought that said something else. Siegfried. Siegfried? Siegfried?
Sir, the Rhinox have blocked the way out.
I thought she said I captured the enemy Russians.
I think you'll be able to blast your way through this one.
And I was like, wait a minute, when did this turn into Call of Duty? Yeah, but she said rations.
When in position, press the square button to drop the weight.
No, it doesn't make sense. I didn't think this game would do that.
Again to look up, sir.
When in position, press square button to drop the weight, then press triangle to look button once to look down, press it again to look up. What? Please pick what? I thought you said press square. I'm confused. What am I missing here? Oh. Dang it. Then what the hell are they talking about square for? I got you, bro. I got you. You couldn't hide from me. What? Is that how you do that? Okay, I'm confused. That's what I did last time. That has to be like a freaking skill point or something. Bro, he was literally getting shot right in his face and he was still trying to eat me. There you go. Is that... How do I get you out? Oh, it had to be close. Okay, you have to hit like a certain part of it. Is that why?
Request permission to cheer, sir. Hip hip hooray!
Hip hip hooray! I'm gonna try my best to get all those groundhogs. Oh! Oh, who's hearing me? Oh, I didn't see y'all. Okay, hold up. Give me some health. So many of y'all. Alright, nice. Alright. Full health. Now let's see what's going on in this room. Is that it in here? Was there another ground? Did I get that groundhog? Hold up. No, I didn't. Hold on. What? Oh, was I supposed to talk to you first?
Keep fighting the good fight, sir. We're almost there, and I'm right behind you.
Oh, I should have killed them first. Dang it. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff here. What exactly am I supposed to do with this thing? Oh my god, there's so much here. Oh, I think this is what they're talking about. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Alright, alright. This is weird, but are interesting. Let me just get all this stuff. There's so much here. I don't want to miss it. All right. Get wrecked, nerd. Oh, you know what? They probably want you to use the missiles for that. Ow! Where was the other one? I need to... Oh, there's another one right there. Oh, I probably missed. Hold up. I didn't switch angles first. Oh, there's more right here. Chill.
Mission accomplished. It's great to have you back, sir.
No problem. Hey! Ryan Lee. Got a name. Oh, Ryan Lee. Sleepy. Sleepy. Dang, that's not all of them? Hopefully I didn't miss any. I only noticed that like a while ago, that was even there. Okay, there's so many gems that got dropped. I gotta make sure I get all of them. G'day, Private! What? Where? I thought you died! Bro, that has to be like a skill point. Oh, he did? Oh, good. Alright, see ya, Hangman. Appreciate you hanging out. You have a great rest of your day. Alright. Let me, time you. Dang it, missed. I don't know. Have I been cutting out less now? Since I changed that? Oh, we got it. Nice. Okay, then that's the reason why that happens. I'm like, how come like you can hear like the entire, what the frick? Oh. I was shooting that for like 5 years. How come you can hear like the entire kitchen, but you can't, but I cut off just because I'm laughing? And I just realized when I was learning how the noise gate works, he was talking about how the attack and release refer to how quickly it cuts you off and how quickly it starts up the gate. So that's probably what's cutting me off. I'd have to mess with the noise, the release and stuff like that for my voice specifically, and maybe 500 milliseconds was too fast, so it starts to cut me off every time I laugh. And it gets close to the point where it needs the gate, but maybe if I slow it down a little bit or give it a little bit more time, it won't completely cut me off. So I definitely want to experiment with that. Dude, how big is this place? So I definitely want to experiment with that more. Place is so big, yeah, I know. Like, I feel like I'm missing so much, and I haven't even finished the objective. Oh, I didn't even see you. Dang it, I got all that health for nothing. There was a pathway I saw that had another hummingbird. I gotta figure out where it was. Like, I'm literally losing track of everything. Oh, it was this way. Near the lava. Here we go. Is there something over here, too? I think there was. Oh, there's a whole area there. Jeez. Oh, wait. I can't go in here. What the frick? I can't see. Frick. There we go. Ah! Oops, I did not mean to shoot you. Okay, I see where the last one is, but how do I get you?
What are your orders, sir?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. It looked like maybe I'd do something from the top. They're really gonna make me go back through this ish. Ah! I almost hit the lava. Is there something? Do I gotta break something to get in there? Because I was like, maybe I gotta break the glass, but I don't see how you can do that. I can only go this high. I can try. But like, how do I hit it from that? Like these shoot from like the top down. Oh, I don't get it. What the frick am I missing? Okay, let's go back and see what we can find. Well, this. Completely missed that. Anything else in here? Ooh, no, can't go any higher. Ooh, I need to bring that back. I forgot about that. I need to bring a missile over here, seems. Maybe I need to bring a missile over here for another reason as well, so I'm just gonna bring it just in case. I don't know why I was so high. I'm high all the time. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, let me make sure there's nothing else over here. Was there any more of those here? I don't think so. I don't think it was just... Alright. Oh, and that was like, we were looking in on this area anyway. Okay, I see how that worked. Okay, well, let's just get rid of those. My bad, I didn't mean to drop it on people. Hoiberg got wrecked. Here we are. Nice. Woo!
Captured, I recovered this egg from the enemy, sir.
Roy! Roy's our boy! Roy's our boy! That's all I think about when I think about that name. Yeah. Yay! Level complete! Yay! Ow, my hand actually hurts. Let me not do that. I was clapping it, like my muscle in my hand is like really fricked up sometimes, so I gotta massage it. It doesn't like being pushed around sometimes. Alright, well, this is probably where I'm gonna stop for today. We made some pretty good progress, and everything. It should be okay. But yeah, so we have a few more things to do here, but I think so far we are killing it. We'll have to go back now because we now have the penguin, so we can go back to World 1, and that's where we're gonna be next time. So we're gonna go back to... What? What secret ice cave? Yeah, but this is from this main world. We haven't finished everything here yet. This is the penguin one. But yeah, so we finished everything so far. So we just got to do a little bit more, then we should be good. Like the menu atlas shows us more detail. Here we go. All right, so yeah, so we can go back and hopefully we'll be able to complete the rest of Sunrise Spring Worlds after that. Then we come back to Midday Garden Worlds and we will finish everything. We will make some more progress there. And yeah, it's just worlds within the worlds. After you finish the whole world, you do that. But yeah, so appreciate anyone who hung out. Have a great rest of your Sunday. And yeah, booty eye.